So many people show up with their game face on and completely exhaust themselves after it's finished. Now, I was the person who used to see all of those people when I was a healer. Completely shattered coaches, broken therapists, having their game face on, and then they come and see me completely in a mess, and I would rebuild them basically. And I don't do that anymore. I rebuild people in a very, very different way. Recalibrate everything without me having to do so much of the work now. And the thing is, how you show up is so, so important. Now, I'll tell you what creates the biggest amount of pressure in your life. If you have to show up and put a mask on, because every time that you have to show up with the bullshit that you put in front of yourself, and some people don't even know they're doing it, it's a huge amount of weight that you have to carry. So what you end up carrying is a whole bunch of anxiety and adrenaline running in your system, and it leads to burnout and exhaustion at the end of the day. So what you've got to learn to be able to do is actually just show up as you are. Not worry about what people are going to think of you at the end of the day. That's what I love about lives. I do them, and I've done thousands and thousands of them now, and I just show up. You know, Anya watches me, my wife watches me, and she goes, "Oh, you just went out and did 3 lives, just decided, had an idea, and off I went." I don't prep, I don't do any of those things, I just have something to share. So what I want you to think about is show up, let go of the mask, because if you don't, this is when people get sick and end up an absolute mess with their bodies. So people have no idea half the time that they're putting a game face on. So what I do in my academy is very, very different as a leader. I show up sharing who I am, my frailties, my greatness, everything about me. So then people can do something really, really different. You cannot have a go at someone who's being honest with who they are. You can if you're putting it. People can have a go at you if you're putting a mask on. If you're being transparent, honest, and vulnerable, there's no pressure, so someone can't hit you with a sledgehammer when you're hitting yourself with one yourself. So I think it's so important that we need to learn to figure out, well, how do we show up? And that's called peeling the layers back and learning to, the cliche of being yourself. And most people aren't. So how do you do that? This is what I share in my academy, how to peel away the personality. The first thing you've got to understand is, what personality are you playing? And then deeper underneath that is an identity that you don't show, right? So we put a mask on the top, and then we've got this inner identity that is our inner game that quite often we don't want to show anyone. So we've got to figure out how to work with those, share what we are going through, so then we can show up in a better way. And when you show up that way, it's easy to be you, rather than how do I do that? See ya.